In this video, I'm going to tell you the #1 reason why crypto projects fail. And I'm not just going to tell you why, I'm going to explain it. And on top of that, I'm going to give you the specific solution. So whether you're building a project and you want to know how to avoid failure, this video is going to be for you. Or whether you're a trader or someone who's just involved in crypto generally, and you want to understand why projects that you've invested in have failed, we're going to explain that in this video. So what we do know so far is that 45% of VC-backed crypto projects have already failed. And this is the highest standard of crypto project that received millions of dollars. We've already seen 45% fail. This is also why in just Q1 this year, over 1.8 million tokens died. We are facing a huge moment in the crypto industry. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can look at the statistics. Crypto is failing. Now let me get into why. So when a crypto project starts to grow, they want to get out there and they want to launch. This is what they do. Firstly, they start doing some marketing, or they'll hire a marketing agency to do some marketing. So up here, we're going to put down marketing agency. Now, the problem with a marketing agency or just doing marketing, we've seen time and time again in crypto. If you just market it, all you do is create hype and speculation, which is very short-lived. Marketing without any end goal is purely just hype and speculation, which will eventually evaporate. Anyway, so they'll hire marketing to get the word out there about their project. Then what they'll do is they'll hire some developers or a dev shop to build their products. So now they're talking to a marketing agency over here, they're talking to a developer shop over here, somewhere to do with product. And oftentimes, they don't even launch the product, they launch the token first. We'll get back to why that's so backwards in a minute and why it's never gonna work if you do that. The next thing they do for their business, the founders' business model. A lot of founders, they don't even think about a business model. How they're gonna generate revenue, how they're gonna sustain themselves when the money falls out. All they're thinking of doing is, let's create a highly valuable token. We can raise money off of that token. We can support ourselves from that money. We can sell tokens into the market. Everything is monetization of the token. They don't think about building a real business model or even proving a real business model before launching an actual business, right? This is another huge issue. Anyway, on to the next. And this is the asset or the token. Most projects here, they're going to probably hire a tokenomics advisor. Now, what the tokenomics advisor is going to do is map out the supply. So 1 billion tokens, and they're going to vest over a 3-year period. And this is 10% going over here, 20% over here. This is all completely irrelevant if you don't think about the other side of the market. Think simple economics, right? Supply, demand. Now, if all you do is work on where the supply is going to go and hope demand comes in, how are you ever going to sustain an economy, right? The tokenomics advisors are only thinking about how you supply tokens into the market. Anyway, and next up, and the final part we're going to cover here is community. So what will happen is a lot of projects will hire a community manager or a community team, or they might even pay the marketing agency to run their community for them. And again, all they're doing here is probably loading the conversations up with bots and fake conversation to make it look like things are going on, create a load of hype and speculation through that community channel. And that is about it. It's not a sustainable community setup. But the biggest problem, and this is where we're getting to, the biggest problem out of all of this is that all of these areas, 1, in marketing, 2, in product, 3, in business, 4, in the token and asset, and 5, in community. These are all types of growth in crypto. But 0 crypto projects, or pretty much 0 crypto projects, unless they work with Magnet, link these different types of growth together. So marketing efforts are done. Let's hope that they impact the product. Let's hope that they impact the business. Let's hope they impact the asset. There's no formula, there's no structure, right? There's no system that's making sure that marketing comes through the different elements of growth and therefore influences every single type of growth. And if that's a little bit confusing, don't worry, because I'm going to go through this in a minute, exactly how you do this, how you tie everything together. I'm just making a point here that a lot of crypto projects, what they do is they start conducting loads of random different growth activities. None of them are interlinked together. The marketing agency will never speak to the product or dev shop. The company that's creating the business model probably don't have one and definitely don't align marketing or products with them. Token, they're just doing some marketing to try and impact token. They never really truly know what actually moves the token. And then finally, on the community side, community members should come through the product, should come through the business, should come through the asset. That's how you create a strong community. But they're just set a task of build a community. It's ludicrous. Anyway, now we're going to go through what the 1% do, what the likes of Solana, Binance, right, Hyperliquid, these hyper successful projects have done, which has made them win. And this is something that anyone can implement. Anyone building a crypto project can implement this. And if they do this, their chances of success, their chances of getting ROI from their growth assets improve massively. And you don't need to take my word for that, because you're going to see it right now. So firstly, 5 types of growth. Number 1, marketing-led growth. So this is all about 2 things: awareness and acquisition. So how do you make people aware of your project and how do you acquire them into your project? Number 2, product-led growth. This is the type of growth that gave us the internet that we experience today. It is the single most important thing for any business: product. In crypto, we seriously forget that. Anyway, 2 stages of product-led growth: activation, activating users, and retention, keeping them on your product. Next up, number 3, business-led growth. Again, something that for some reason crypto projects think we don't need. Let's just monetize our token and not build a real business. How stupid. Anyway, business-led growth, 2 stages: revenue, generating money. Yes, projects are businesses, you need to generate money. And finally, scalability. So how over time does your business scale to support further needs? How do your operations scale to make sure that you can cover everything needed to be covered? Number 4. Now this is where it gets really interesting, right? And the reason for that is because, to me, the 4th and 5th type of growth in crypto are completely unique to crypto. And these are some of the most powerful growth levers we've ever seen. This is why I came over from growth hacking in Web 2 and online businesses into Web 3, because I saw the opportunity. But all I've done for the last few years is try and explain to people how what they're doing now is unsustainable and how we're going to end up like a .com crash if we don't sort it out. Anyway, asset-led growth. This is your token and how you use that as a growth asset and not as a monetization tool. 2 stages: the token itself and then the ecosystem. And as I was mentioning, most projects go wrong here because they monetize the token. They don't use it as a growth asset. They don't bring value into that token. And we're going to explain that in a minute. Anyway, the last type of growth here is community-led growth. So again, something so powerful in crypto, because we've had community growth. If you look at, let's say, Revolut, for example, they grew through their community. Same with PayPal, they pay people to refer people. But in crypto, you don't have to go and pay someone $50 to go and refer a friend, right? They can just buy your token, get rewarded for your token, and they will talk about you and they will grow the project for you. So we have 2 stages here. We have number 1, nurturing. So how do you create that community? And number 2, virality. How do you grow off the back of your community? So these are the 5 types of growth. This is where it gets extremely interesting. They are not individual parts. They link together. Let me give you an example. So we're marketing the product, the business, the project, whatever it is. You're marketing the project. You're making people aware, you're acquiring them. Now, when they acquire, they go directly into product-led growth. So if you mess up on the marketing-led growth side and your awareness efforts aren't good enough to actually be converting people, acquiring them onto the product, you have an issue here at marketing, which needs to be fixed so that it doesn't jam your potential progress. So you can see marketing directly influences product-led growth. Now in product-led growth, we need to take that user that has come from marketing and activate them onto the product and then keep them on the product as a paying user, right? So from that is the goal of product-led growth. Now, if we do that, we end up with a paying user, which is going to influence business-led growth because we're generating revenue, which is enabling us to scale as well. So as you can see from product-led growth, this supports your business model completely. Direct impact. Next up, we have how business impacts asset. There are two things here, right? Product-led growth, coming into the asset, utility purchases, right? And then the business. So this can be, for example, a revenue buyback. There's lots of ways that you can provide your asset with business success, but this is just one that I'm giving you for this example. So if you have a successful product, you get utility purchases. If you have a successful business, you bring that into the token. And that provides sustainability in your asset over time, right? Because you're not launching a token and saying, I hope people buy it. People are going to buy it and you're going to buy it as well from the success of your business. So let's say, for example, on the token side that we have $50,000 worth of selling pressure every single month. However, on the business side, what do we have? We're generating $100,000 and let's say we have a 25% revenue to buyback. So that's going to bring in $25,000 against that $50,000 selling pressure. On top of that, say product-led growth, let's say we have 1,000 users, or let's say 10,000, we have a 10% conversion rate, 1,000 users that actually go on to hold the token for utility reasons, and they all hold, let's say, $300 each, right, worth of the token. And then on the product side, let's say that we have 10,000 acquired users, and we're gonna say 10% of those users, so 1,000, are going to hold the token, right? And on average, they're gonna hold around, let's say, $200 worth of the token. So in this circumstance, 1,000 people becoming token holders from 10,000, and then on top of that, we have them holding on average $200. That's gonna give us 200,000, right? This is just an example, of course, but that'll give us $200,000 worth of buying pressure based on the token. So if we now look at this, we have 225,000 coming into the token as sustainable buying pressure against the 50,000. So we have a net buying pressure of $175,000 coming into the chart. And this is without any speculation and hype. When you look at this, your token is going to go up in value based on the sustainability of your product and business and how they impact your asset, right? As simple as that. This is the really key thing, really key. If you have $175,000 worth of buying pressure coming into your chart, you're a small token, that could 2-3x your market cap. If you're a medium-sized token, it could lead to an appreciation of 20-30%. Again, when we build growth systems for people, we work this out anyway. The point is, with this value, so your asset is going up in value regardless of hype and speculation, your community get rewarded because they're holding the token and it's appreciating in value. And now, any of you guys who have ever been in crypto, you will know this one thing to be true. A token that goes up is the best marketing for any crypto project. Green candles are the best thing that you can possibly have. So in this circumstance, people are winning through the token and that's fueling your community growth. people are going to talk about in your community as you nurture it and you activate virality about your project. And what does this do? This then leads all the way back up because, like I just said, your community become your best marketing asset. And all of your future awareness created through your community restarts the growth system because it starts to fuel the front as well. So all of this together, what does it equal? A growth flywheel. And this right here is the absolute aim of any crypto project. And like I said at the start, with all of these random different growth efforts going on, nothing connected, nothing handled properly, no system, right? You're not only losing ROI, you're setting yourself up for failure. In this circumstance, if you have a growth system where you're tracking your marketing metrics, product metrics, business metrics, asset metrics, and community metrics, on top of that, the influence of marketing on product, product on business, business and product on asset, and asset on community, and then community on future marketing, you have a full clear picture of your project's growth. You have the ability to work out what is wrong in the system and how to fix it. This, what you're seeing right here, is the magnet method. 4 years ago, I came into this space and I was horrified at how projects grew and how unsustainable they were. So 2 years ago, I invented the magnet method, which is based on these 5 pillars of growth. And more importantly, how you build a growth system that is sustainable off of the back of this framework. And that is all my company Magnet does right now. If you come to us right now, let's run a growth campaign, create some speculation hype, go and talk to someone else. All we're focused on is building sustainable growth systems, because if you put this into a project, the project knows what their key metrics are, what metrics influence other metrics, and they can see a clear picture of their whole growth foundation. So if they're not achieving the results they want to achieve, it's very easy to identify where they're going wrong and to fix those problems. And I have been preaching this for years now. And I really hope that this video finds a lot of different founders out there, because the technology that we are given in this industry can change the world. I really believe that. On top of that, asset-led growth, community-led growth, these new growth levers that we have over Web2 companies, extremely powerful to be able to get our technology out there to the masses. But we keep making the mistakes that I outlined at the start of the video. And this is the solution. This is my work for the last few years, right? Taking this, building growth systems, putting them into projects. And that's my last thing I'm going to say in this video. If you are building a project in crypto right now, and you look at this and you think, I need to get a growth system in place, click the link in the description of this video and you can book a call with my team. It's completely free, but it's going to be a growth system audit call. So we're going to take a look at your current growth in your project. We're going to identify exactly where you're going wrong and give you a little bit of a game plan on how to plug the gap in your growth system, or what your growth system should look like specifically for your project. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget, if you're building a project in crypto, talk to the Magnet team. We are here to help. Au revoir.